Alright, alright, alright. Stick. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Solar Systems, where we help you understand the system your soul goes into. This is Mood and Michael. I'm your host, Royal Triangle Michael, and I am cutting out the esoteric middleman and giving you the tools you need to connect yourself right to the freaking source. Don't forget it. Anyways, so this is part 2 of understanding reality and dimensions, where we're talking about, reality, dimensions, multiverses, different realms of existence and experience. And, so this is part 2 to dimensions. So what do you think we're talking about? That's right, the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. We're hopping right to 7, 8, 9. I'm just kidding. 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. Basically the higher forms of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd dimension. So, without any further ado, let's start. I need water. I should not have come out here without water. Yes, the magic of editing. Now you see it. Now you don't. Alright, so now that I have my water, we're ready to start talking about the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, so let's hop into it. In order for you to get to the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, you have to finish the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd dimension. And right now, if you're watching this video, you are most likely, if not 100% guaranteed, that you are in the 3rd dimension, which means you have, and you're in a human vessel, which means that you have completed almost everything that this realm has to offer to you before you can move on to the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. But for some reason, there's something you have to learn, some lesson that you keep failing. And until you pass that lesson, you cannot move on. So, get your shit together. I'm just kidding. But that's what we're here for. We're here to help. Anyways, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. 4th dimension. What is the 4th dimension? Well, it's very simple. You want to understand the 4th dimension, you got to understand the 1st dimension. What does the 1st dimension have to do with? Your individual thought. Okay, so what do you think the 4th dimension is? That's right, thoughts. What? Doesn't make sense? Yes, it does. The 4th dimension is a higher version of the 1st dimension. So in the 1st dimension, we talked about being an individual thought, right? To start as a spiritual being, you have some sort of singular thought, idea, concept. It's very masculine in energy. And then the 2nd dimension is when you add feminine energy, duality to it, right? You start not only thinking it, but you're moving to it. You're moving through it. You're moving with it, adding vibrations to things, right? So, the 4th dimension has to do with thoughts in general. It's the realm of thoughts. Now, as you might have noticed, how we are not really just thinking of one singular thought at the moment. We have the capacity to think of multiple different things. This is because even though we are in the 3rd dimension, we're able to access and perceive the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensions to a certain degree, which is why we're able to have a multitude of different thoughts. So yes, the 4th dimension is the realm of thoughts. This is also important to understand as an individual being, because when you enter the 4th dimension and you take on a 4th dimensional like vessel, this is when you are no longer using influences, you start to become the influence to be used by other people. So what I mean by this is that the 4th dimensional vessel is an asteroid, right? You are no longer using the influences of other planetary bodies or stars, but you are starting to become that and give your influence onto other things, other beings, right? So the 4th dimensional vessel is an asteroid. It is the thought realm. It is also your introduction to becoming an influence to be used by others. So, for example, we can do this here on Earth, right? We have, celebrities, aka fallen stars, which we'll touch in a couple minutes when we talk about the 6th dimension. But, the way you interact with your surroundings, your environment, you have a certain influence that people can use and utilize. You have a certain tool set that people can use and utilize, just like the planets, right? But you're not affecting an entire solar system at, the level that you're at, right? But when you enter the 4th dimension, this is where you start to be able to do things like that. And this brings us into the 5th dimension. The 5th dimension is a higher version of the 2nd dimension. So if the 2nd dimension has to do with duality and adding feminine energy to a masculine thing, aka thoughts and emotions being together, if the 4th dimension was the dimension of thoughts, then the 5th dimension is the dimension of emotion. And this is very similar to us down here. We have emotions, we have feelings, we can feel certain things, emotions, move with different thoughts and ideas and concepts and experiences that we're experiencing in our surroundings, but inside the 5th dimension, this is at a much higher level. It is literally the realm of emotions. And this will make more sense when we talk about the physical vessel, which is a planet. So the Earth, the rock that, well, technically ball of water, that we are living on is a 5th dimensional vessel. But not only that, the other planets as well are 5th dimensional vessels. So what does that mean? They have influences, they have energy that they are shedding onto us that we are utilizing. So without us, their influence really wouldn't have a point. But yeah, the 5th dimension has to do with emotions and typically influences, like planets. Which is why the closer the planet is, the stronger its influence is. You know, and it's the same thing whereas asteroids aren't necessarily, their influences aren't really necessarily felt unless they're conjuncting a planet, because the planets are a higher dimensional resonance, but more than that, they are in the dimension of emotion, so their influences are much stronger. And that leads us, ladies and gentlemen, and all the animals in between that, to the sixth dimension, aka the realm of attention. What you're giving your attention to, who's paying attention to you, and when you think of that, what do you think of? Well, if you take a look up in the sky, you better have your sunglasses on, because a sixth dimensional vessel is a star, right? And this is touching on the fact of why I said celebrities were kind of like fallen stars, right? Because literally none of them are at the dimensional resonance of a star, right? They're basically people that, you know, certain entities have lifted up onto a pedestal in order to distract you, make you pay attention to them, so you're not really paying attention to yourself. Celebrities are actors, right? For the most part. Not all the time, but for the most part, celebrities are actors. Why would you pay so much attention to someone who gets paid to literally be something other than themselves? I'm going to repeat that because that's kind of astounding. Why would you pay attention to someone who literally gets paid to be not themselves? You know, you want to go to a movie theater, watch a movie, be entertained, that's awesome. Leave it at that. Enough said, okay? So, sixth dimension has to do with moderating your attention, who you're paying attention to, and who is paying attention to you. And its physical vessel is a star, a sun basically, right? Giant ball of water, not fire. Water, why? Because it's influence. That's it. The reason why it looks like a ball of fire is we're in the third dimension, it's in the sixth dimension. How is my 3D eyes supposed to perceive something 3 dimensions higher than me? No, that's what the first eye's for. Use it. Fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. Recaps right there. Dimensional vessels, right over there. This is my little camera remote because I don't have my black crystal with me today. Obsidian for the win. Just kidding. I only like it because it looks like a knife and I can stab things with it. Anyways, I'm going to shut up before I say something I shouldn't. But anyways, guys, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Leave us a comment. Let me know what kind of stupid thing you want me to talk about next. Or if I will post a 30-second video of me jumping off a roof. I don't care. I'm not going to do that because that's dangerous unless certain contingencies apply. May I have a rope? Anyways, I'm getting way off topic. But yeah, if you guys would like to request a reading of any kind, even a customized one that we can do to meet your needs, email us at readings@solarsystems.org. And make sure you guys check out our Instagram where we talk about the daily alignments, basically breaking down every day's energy every day on the daily. Solar systems right over there. And until next time, fly high, y'all.